A quiet update to the App Store review guidelines suggests that the officially OSAT marketplace is looking to enable gifting for in-app purchases in the future. Whereas previous rules limited gifting to only full apps, the change, first spotted by Macromers, went live yesterday, though Apple has yet to officially announce the new policy or detail how the change will affect things on iOS developers' side of the fence. The section that directly addressed and outlawed gifting in-app purchases like content, features, or consumable items has now been replaced by the text. Apps may enable gifting of items that are eligible for in-app purchase to others. Such gifts may only be refunded to the original purchaser and may not be exchanged. Previously, that line read, apps should not directly or indirectly enable gifting of in-app purchase content, features, or consumable items to others. The new policy potentially means that with free-to-play or other in-app purchase-friendly games on the App Store could be seen a revenue boost as players are given the ability to purchase in-game currency or items for friends. Nobody knows video game vehicle physics better than AVALANCH Studios, which touts them as a key selling point for its flagship obstacles games. The studio just set a new bar for physics-based grapple and ops with the release of Just Cause 4. And at the 2019 Game Developers Conference you will get to peek under the hood to see how it works. As part of BD 2019's programming track of talks, Avalanche Studios lead mechanics designer Hamish Young will be speaking about vehicle physics and tire dynamics in Just Cause 4. He will show you how the latest Just Cause gamer copes with a wide range of vehicles and playstyles through thoughtful design of its tire dynamics, and how the right technical decisions were reached during design of the game's vehicle physics model. You want to be there, because Young also plans to go through the magic formula. Tire model examiningly, it may not be optimal for cadence impact handling, and propose a more designer-friendly approach, which is not semi-empirical, has considerably fewer parameters, and produces more player-friendly results. For more details on this talk, and many more, check out THEGDC 2019 session scheduler. There you can begin to lay out your DD week, which takes place March 18th through the 22nd at the newly renovated Moscone Center in San Francisco. Bring your team to DD. Register a group of 10 or more and save 10% on conference passes. Learn more. For more details on GDC 2019 visit the show's official website, or subscribe to regular updates via Facebook, Twitter, OS. Gamasutra and DD are sibling organizations under parent company Informa. Blue Point Games has a reputation for technical excellence, one built on shipping everything from deck to VR collecting and totals. Your schedule of the closest remake. And at the 2019 Game Developers Conference you will get an inside look at how the studio shapes its remarkable collections and remakes. As part of DD 2019's programming track of talks, Blue Point Games Technical Director Peter Dalton will provide an overview of the studio's technical pipeline in Beyond the remake of Shadow of the Colossus, a technical perspective, using lots of examples from Blue Point's own projects. Dalton will share strategies for building flexible systems that make it easier to support the unique problems each game presents. He will also present key insight into the major AAA titles undergo a remake, with their night towards guiding and inspiring fellow devs to push the technical limits of their own work. Do not miss it. Further details on these talks and many more are available now on THEGDC 2019 session scheduler. There you can begin to lay out your GD 2019, which takes place March 18th through the 22nd at the newly renovated Moscow Center in San Francisco. Bring your team to GD, register a group of 10 or more and save 10% on conference passes. Learn more. For more details on GDC 2019, visit the show's official website, or subscribe to regular updates via Facebook, Twitter, OS, Gamasutra and GD are sibling organizations under parent company Informa. So you have made a successful mod. Congratulations! Perhaps you have heard of the incredible success of mod to indie transformations, like Team Photos Tour, DOTA, The Stanley Parable, and Disaster, and you are thinking about transforming your mod into a standalone indie game tour. I am going to offer some advice. Based on my recent experience, I made a story-driven mod called The Forgotten City for a popular RPG I'm not allowed to mention, and it's been downloaded by 1.9 million people, won a National Writers Guild Award, and received broad critical acclaim. Kotaku even called it ambitious enough to build its own game, so I am reimagining it as a standalone game to be released in 2019. You can check out the trailer here. If you do like to see how it's shaping up, reimagining your mod as a standalone game is a massive undertaking, and you are going to want to do some exhaustive preparation beforehand. Get legal advice. Chances are you'll agree to some kind of end-user license agreement with the developer of the game you were modding. You probably did not even read it. Unfortunately, it may have terms which restrict your ability to reuse or promote the intellectual property you created. It's going to depend on the terms of the unit, so there's no one-size-fits-all approach here. But if you do not get legal advice, you may get a long way down the road to making your game, only to be the subject of legal action from that other developer. The long-round intellectual property ownership of mods is shrouded in mystery, so the best approach is to reach a clear written agreement with the other developer's legal team, which removes most of the uncertainty. That's what I did. With the help of a specialist video game lawyer, I'd recommend trying something similar. Ask yourself why your mod's fanbase would pay for an experience that you have already had for free. This is a tough question, but a necessary one. To market your game, you will most likely be relying on support from the fanbase of your mod, at least in the beginning. Ask yourself why someone who enjoyed your mod would pay $20 for an experience similar to one they have already had. In other words, what improvements are you going to make to your game that were not present in the mod, and how are you going to communicate them to your fanbase? For The Forgotten City, I am adding a new setting, new twists and endings, upgraded visuals, a professional orchestral score and voice acting, mocap animations, among other things. 3. Talk to your fanbase about what they want. It's incredibly difficult to anticipate what gamers want. You can speculate all you want, but the best way to figure it out is by simply asking them. Consider running a survey via social media or SurveyMonkey to gauge interest in a standalone version of your mod. What do the numbers say? Which new features are they most excited about? 4. Estimate how much it's going to cost to make a prototype. Making an indie game is expensive. You are going to need funding from somewhere, discussed below. But before anyone will even consider funding your game, you will need to build a prototype. You might think, well, I have this mod. Sorry, your mod is not going to cut it. There's a massive amount of work involved in rebuilding a mod as a standalone game, particularly if you are using a different engine, and every potential investor knows it. They will need to see a standalone prototype, which you will need to put together at your own expense before you seek funding. A. Prototype expenses. Here are the things you will need to budget for. There's no one-size-fits-all equation here, but as a ballpark figure, I do recommend setting aside at least United States $30,000 if you need to hire specialist help. It'll be cheaper if you do everything yourself, or partner with someone who's giving up their time for free. But having the support of an experienced professional is a huge advantage. B. Opportunity cost. I'd recommend setting aside a minimum of 6 months to make your prototype if you are working full-time.